Okie dokie, I would like as many people on headset as I can possibly have.
I like it. Cool, thank you.
Hey, Rachel. Hi.
Hello.
Perfect, everybody downstairs. Oh, I love you guys.
Yeah, fine. Thank you.
Michaela, do I have any actors back there yet? Yeah, you do. Okay. Sam, do I have any actors on your side?
They're multiplying by the minute.
And we will go right at 7.
Some modern day Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
It includes.
Okay.
West Side Story is about 2 gangs and a love story between people from each of the gangs. And
So the story of West Side Story kind of teaches us about it's racism, you know, and it's how people can learn to overcome racism.
We could overcome tragedy and violence in order to achieve equality in today's society.
I have just been waiting for the right cast, the right time to do West Side Story. I know it's probably one of the toughest musicals to put together, just because of the Bernstein scores, where he wanted to take the Broadway and the opera and mix them. And the classical part of it is really hard in chording structures and different things in the orchestra. But I knew that we had the players, and also we had a really heavy class of junior and senior boys that could dance. And we've raised them up this last 4 years in theater and said, this is the time to do West Side Story. And I knew our crew was ready for it too. It just seemed like it was the year to do one of the top hardest musicals.
Dude, I'm down. Do you have
No. Okay. Mrs. Clutter. We have study tables, and they have to study while we rehearse, or they go practice for solo and ensemble. They got to make a choice. They can't just eat in my,
right.
And they've got to focus that they're not going home with a bunch of homework. That homework is, because they may not even get on the stage tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's the way it is. Then you have your study table like athletes, and you get your stuff done, and there's lots of people, if they have questions, you just ask them.
That's smart.
Yeah,
really smart.
and then they don't go, veg out for 3 hours.
Right.
And then they go home and go,
Right.
they're doing that.
What to do? I have.
How about I do your homework and you do my homework?
Okay, you want to learn how to do vectors?
Yes, because I'll do like one question and you'll get my whole packet done in like
No.
5 minutes. Use a figure to sketch a graph of the specified vector. This doesn't seem that hard.
This stuff's pretty easy. But the stuff that I had to do, bearings, that was on today's
Oh,
test.
that's easy. I learned it last week.
You're lying. Okay.
Whenever I walk into rehearsal, the only thing I think of is how can I get better and how can I impress Mrs. Clutter more than I did the day before, because I see her like up so high on a pedestal that all I want to do is just say like, was that okay? Did I do that right? And just having her say, yes, that was good. Like, I like the way that was. It really hits you. And good spot, really deep, like, okay, we're good here.
Okay, you know you do. Who says that? Yeah. You know you do. Go, try it. You know what we talked about this morning. Ready, go.
You know you do.
Oh, you know you do.
Oh, you know you do.
Yeah, Jillian said. Oh, you know you do.
Oh, you know you do.
There we go. Gabby, say it. Go.
Oh, you know you do.
Mrs. Clutter, how many times are we repeating these two messages?
What?
How many times are we repeating this?
What does this one say?
I think no.
Like before 5?
Oh, this
we
is
have
just
to
one.
repeat that.
Bop, 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 bop. I don't know. I was there and you guys didn't come in. Do you feel like you're really secure on those parts?
No.
Yes.
Not if we don't have the music.
Okay. Bum. Who's on the bottom?
Me.
All right. Bum, bum, bum. Ready? 1. Slow it down and automobile in America. Romance still in America. Fires mobile in America. Okay, so I like to be in America. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Ready?
She definitely knows what she wants. Mrs. Clutter is always energetic and always knows how to get her kids to do what she wants them to do no matter what, which is a great quality for a director.
When you're a jet, you're not jet.
No, this is
that just so bugs me with the song.
That's the Jet song. We're doing Club Key.
I want to do the Jet song really quick because I'm the director and I can sing one.
You promised.
I know, you can help us with that. We're the jerks and the shits. We're the shits. Here we go. 1 jet, go. And we're gonna have the race. The shits are gonna have the race tonight. No.
I had that. No, you did not.
The audience is going, the Sharks are gonna get beat. Come on, duel off. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. We're gonna hand them a surprise tonight. No, we're gonna, right there. Ready, go. We're gonna hand them a surprise tonight. That's you. Ready, go. We're gonna have them a surprise tonight. Do it again. Go.
Boy, crazy boy, stay loose, boy.
Except we got wrong notes. Do you understand how he used these accents versus the elongation?
Yeah.
Stay cool, boy. Stay cool, boy. Ready and stay cool, boy. Yeah. So instead of like boy, just play it cool. Just. Don't put any sound to it. Just play it cool.
Go man go, but not like a yo-yo schoolboy.
Yeah, go man go. It's gotta be like this schoolboy. It can't be go man go. It's not like it's go man go. Here we go. Yeah, take it out like you're talking. You're mixing up. 1, 2, and
Go man go, but not like a yo-yo schoolboy.
Just play it cool, boy. Just play it cool. Okay, awesome.
The joys for me doing a production like West Side Story is that I get to do very interesting dances on stage and they're fun and I get to dance with my friends, so I get to have fun with them as well.
I wish the audience could see that beginning and part where they're just trying to fit their characters. Oh my gosh, the process. It's even that beginning step of getting 100 people up for choreography, and just to see how many kids will, want to be a part of this small cast, and watching them learn from a professional choreographer.
Right, so you ladies backing her up and all the facial reactions makes it so good, right? So she's got to have she's the leader of a posse. You are her posse, and you must band together, okay?
And the wall-to-wall floors are going to be this. So our right hand is coming up, our left hand's, it's like these are the floors, right? So wall-to-wall floors in America, and that's everything, okay? So let's try that, where we start with the TV. How about, I'll bring the TV just a
So we have some stuff built, but we're not going to pull it until after the last 2 concerts, which are Monday and Tuesday. After we get that done, then we have 9 hard flats built that will be wall pieces. We'll have, I think, 11 more to build, and then we'll router out our windows from the center of this probably Thursday, and we'll router off the edges too, so everything's nice and flush and square. And then after that, we can maybe start painting. That's exciting. Then we'll assemble it, and then we'll start working on how the swinging hinge doors are going to work. So those are the steps that we're going to go through, and I need to go cut some more boards so you can do some work, right? Yeah. All right.
We're just gonna do this. So we need we need to measure all the way across here. Why is that? Because we get we get the halfway point right here, and then we measure 15 inches off of the halfway point, and that's where we put our 4 foots that go that way across the frame.
4 foot.
Has to go like straight. How long is this board?
So we can. It's not working because these are kind of. It's not squared up properly. Probably, anyways.
When squaring it up.
And it causes a problem because not everything fits right, and we have to maybe make things shorter, and that might not make everything else fit right.
So now do we just need like a hammer?
Help me slide it down, Casey.
Send you guys out, give them the game plan. I'm going to send you out to do some choreography and find more stuff. Okay. And I do have an idea. Okay, I do have an idea.
Oh, okay.
And then they kind of do a little, like a circle thing, and it's done.
Okay.
Like, to show, like, even though this has happened, then you bring them together.
Right.
I know! So how can, that's why I want to incorporate the kids in the piece.
Okay.
Like, they're almost like that angelic figure that's like wait a minute, overlook all this stuff, even though we've had this, we've had that. So in all that mess, can we make that happen? I'm kind of a control freak, so that is kind of a neat process that I get to like experiment. Well, let's try this, or what do you think this character should do? I really enjoy that about this show.
And then we'll just practice again. Let me see. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to do something else. You got to be very fluent. Like when you are playing, it's not like this kind of playing, it's very like movement. Okay, so do this with me. Here we go, everybody. Ready? Move to really flow this way. And you can spin. And we can get in a circle. You know, get in a circle. And here it comes. And we can go. There we go. Oh, we gotta be fluent. And we can come in. And we can go. You know what? How about you start that where you do like a follow the leader and get them in a circle. Okay, I can tell where. There it is, there it is. Okay, sharks over here, Maria over here, Tony over here, Jets on this side. Jets, come on. Okay, sharks, can you get into this position, sweethearts? Are you awake? You're doing good. You're doing good. We're gonna get a lot done. Okay, guys. Shh. Okay, here's the next thing. Then the kids are sitting on the floor. Maybe they're sitting on these. Come here and sit on here. Guess what's gonna happen? Is we're all gonna look at Ruthie and she's gonna sing. So sit like you're on a picnic. Hey, can you go down and go from here and lift her up?
Just me?
Are you strong enough to do that?
Maybe.
You've been pumping weight.
I'm not that light. I'm not that strong. Last time you had me done following. You don't want us to do that anymore.
Did I do
That was our thing. We decided that. She said, yeah, she said it. That's what I told you.
There you go. Up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, straight up. Can you get them as like straight like they're standing?
Oh gosh. Got it? Whoa. Okay. Hand under the foot.
Hand under the foot. Straight up.
How you doing? Whoa.
Okay. So then love each other. And action. Now you're gonna fly them away. Back behind, and she's gonna come. Maybe I'll have her come back down again. Hey, well, yeah, right here, sweetheart.
Wait, you're walking with this up?
Yeah, you're gonna walk with her up. Ready? And here we go. Up. We're like a princess. My dress is pretty. My dress. Walk with me. Walk with me. Walk with me. Walk with me. And stop. Okay. And now not show her. There. You're too pretty. You can't be seen. Like frozen. Pretend. And they're gonna follow you. I'm not kidding, you're gonna do one of these big leans like this. Can you both lean? Push them there. And they're gonna go off, and they go just backwards like this. And then you're gonna look at these Jets people, and you push them. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Okay.
Okay, go. Ready?
I can't balance.
Okay, you guys ready? Can we talk that through now? From the beginning, where the boys are running on. Not quick. Okay, hey, all elementary kids.
They're practicing
Listen, I don't want you to be scared. They never hit each other. Watch. There's a
I think there are important lessons about both acceptance and seeing beyond those popular stigma lines that either the older generations put in front of us or our parents or society in general. It's about learning to look past that and trying to find what is truly right and truly good.
I don't think any of them were prepared for what they were going to see here in America. They lived a little differently than we do. They were awake at night and slept in the daytime. The windows were always open, they were always singing, some of them had guitars, and on the corner there was a bar where they always would shoot craps, and when I wanted to go to the grocery store I had to cross the street and go around. So it was a little uncomfortable there.
This is a community effort with Deerfield Senior Living, and we're so excited. They've taught us about the history in the 1940s and the 50s of really the Puerto Ricans and the whites, the Protestants and the Catholics, just the different cultures and what was going on, and about life in and when they were growing up there, to help us understand how to portray characters a little bit more.
Especially on a Saturday night. That's when they would really celebrate. They'd be out on the streets, they all carried knives. Dad was out there on Sunday morning with a bucket of water and a broom to sweep the blood off the sidewalk and down the sewer. So I can't say that our neighbors got involved. I think it was their war between them.
What do you guys think? Is this enough room to dance this way so they can see us? Or should we go this way?
Wait, who can see us?
Orchestra's coming in today. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
No.
Sam!
Sweetheart, this is the orchestra. We had it set up for the orchestra, but man, can you rack fast? That was impressive. It's like a grocery sack. I'm gonna start with.
Okay, well, we have
What about candy corn?
It's just in the cafeteria. It starts at 6.
Yeah, you know what? Do that, and then it'll take us probably 15 minutes to get going with everybody.
Okay,
so it should work just great.
Someone text me when you want us back. Because then I can just bring everyone back. Because like there's like 5.
Okay. How about we say like 6:15 or 6:20? I'll rehearse the orchestra for a while.
Okay, so come
Sound
back
good?
at
Yep.
6:20? Okay.
Will that give you enough time, honey?
Probably, yeah.
Thank you for playing with my melody clutter. I've heard you good things, so it's good. We've got, and your name's Dan, right? Correct. Dan Barth. So,
Dan, I'm Brian.
Brian Sarvis. So this is great. He's trumpet, French horn.
What was the last one we said?
It was 92.
92, so start on 106.
I can't see with your hand there.
I didn't paint it good. So, plug them in. Power will run all the way down for all 15 of them. Then they turn on. And then these are Blizzard color-wise quadras, and they do RGBW, and they will do red, green, blue, W, and any combination in between. So each one has their own address for the board to look up, to give instructions on what to do. And each light, these are in, we have what's called DMX, and it's the world of, it's the world that sends signal through. And so you will have 1 through how many ever are on these ballasts, which go to the hard lights. And then we have, these ones are wireless, they go back to a blue transceiver up there. And they will send it wirelessly, but they start at, this one is starting at 256. 256, 257, 258, 259, 260, 261, 262, 263. Starting 263, I believe. What? This one's starting at 253.
263.
This one, what's this one starting at?
250.
Don't talk. If there's a freshman out of line because they've not been through this, tell them kindly Mrs. Clutter will cut your head off.
West Side Story on 3.
West Side Story. Here we go. Ready,
Shut
go.
up, anybody.
1, 2, 3.
What's up? Okay. All cast members on that side, just so we know how to split. Hey, give your orchestra a big hand for. What we're going to do is we're going to try to use your time as wisely as we can. And we're going to start with the prologue tonight. Play hard, right? Yeah. Here's the deal. The prologue will not sound like you're normally used to. Okay, do you understand? Yeah. Just like every song that you sing is not perfect, everything they play is not perfect right now. It's a hard show. My attention's going to be on them. Then we'll do some singing, and then we're going to try to run Act 2. They haven't even run Act 2 yet. They've done a couple of things, but that's about it. Okay? All right, so prologue, go. Okay, let's go back to. Let's go back to. No, don't talk. Do not talk. Cast don't. This is for us. It's not for you. We worked you and worked you and worked you. Okay, time out.
Harder. This is how you slap it. Be ready. That's how you slap it.
Then we go right into jump. And then we jump. No, not that one. Brian, stop. Don't bring attention to yourself. Stop. Oh, thank you. You guys, hey, can you crane? You know what? If you can just put him by Lucas, because he's the biggest one in the orchestra. That is so.
Let's say you get done murdering somebody, okay? And you don't have time to get to the prop table where you got your prop. We need to designate a spot when you leave that scene where it is going to land. And we are going to document the spot where that prop lands. And then at intermission or the end of the night, we're going to go to that spot and we're going to make sure that it gets back to that spot so it can get locked up for the day. Because our space gets used a lot when I'm not told about it.
So, for those of you who do not have a prop tonight, there is a sheet of paper on the props table, like over there against the wall. Write your name and what prop you don't have, just so I can get some information and work on that, all right? Also, if you can, write down where you take the prop on from which side of the stage. Like stage right, you take it on from stage right, write it down, all right?
Girls, dance shoes. You were given black bags with your shoes. It is very important that those shoes stay in those bags. Come to me, I will give you a piece of white gaff tape. And we can write your name and your shoe size on that piece of gaff tape. We may also need to wear tights or hose, because in that time period they would have worn that. I will see if there is some type of pattern that's specific. If there is, I may just be able to draw a line up the back of your leg, like if it's that type of time period.
I want them in
like
hose.
that.
I think we need
You want them in hose?
Yeah, and I've got some
All right.
things upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so things that you can do tonight when you're not on stage. Go get your skin tone, change your makeup. Go and see Cindy Whitesitt for your clothes. Check the program outside. Prop, if you have a prop, there's a prop thing. Go see Codey on that. And then that's probably a good start. Tonight, we are gonna go through, we're gonna start with all the big dances. We may do those twice. And because you gotta get used to what my orchestra's gonna sound like through that, all right?
I'm just trying to find like reference pictures for all of the people who play Puerto Rican's contour to actually make them look more like their character.
That's true. I'm gonna go hide one from Grace for you.
For what part?
For your one of your day dresses. Like in the bridal shop, one or the other. Oh, here we go. See how that fits on. Let me go get pins. And then I have to get Grace and tell her.
I don't think she'll be disappointed.
Oh, she didn't like it?
I don't know.
Okay. Because they're not saying sizes in them, so. This one I'm thinking might.
Still no.
This was.
I don't want to try breaking it.
That's okay.
Oh, I thought it was me. I'm like,
Food
oh
does
god.
not go near costumes. So food can go hallway.
There we
Food
go.
can go to the choir room with your actors. Costumes are down.
There we go. There is your jacket.
Okay.
We can be in thumbs up.
They want me? I'm trying. Okay.
Knock it off! Settle down! All right, kill each other. Just not on my beat. Why, Freezing Lieutenant Shrek.
Top of the day.
Pitiful what you Puerto Ricans have done to this neighborhood.
Except there's no zipper, and that's okay. There's pockets. Yep, this is the dress.
You look amazing.
How do you get it? Yeah.
I didn't know if you want that bottom layer.
Well, yeah, you're gonna wear the bottom layer.
Feel like something. It's so cute. I think it's really pretty for the part.
Yeah. Here we go. You ready? And go.
That scene hurts me.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
You know why? Because you don't know your lines, and Noah is giving lines up there. Okay, that's a problem. Noah, sweetheart, that's wonderful. That means you know the script and that you are a smart little boy. But here's the deal: they got to grow up and be big boys. You know what? We don't know the rumble yet.
Listen, jailbait, I licked you once. I can do it again.
Curfew, gentlemen and lady. Baby John, you should be home in bed.
We're gonna have a war council here, Doc,
Who?
to decide on weapons for the big-time rumble.
My name's Nathaniel Smale. I am student teaching currently, actually with Val Hagner here at Indianola High School. And I just found out today that last minute, due to unforeseen circumstances, I'll be playing Doc in Whitesitt Story.
Mr. Smale, everybody say yay, Mr. Smale. He's gonna be good. And so, anyway, okay.
Velma and I ain't dumb. We got important business coming.
Making trouble for the Puerto Ricans? That was right.
Yep.
Oh, sweet.
They make trouble for us.
Please whistle! Yes, you need to know where that is. Are you serious? We're stinking working so hard down here.
I swear it's not my fault.
I need you to wake up. I don't have time to babysit you anymore. You're on stage, and you missed your cue. You're too late.
I think I connect with how diverse like the two cultures were and how that when love comes into a situation, there is no color. And I just thought really it's still prevalent to today. And even after taking the students to Deerfield and listening to a lady that lives there and that lived in New York at that same time, and her talking about the Puerto Ricans and the white Catholics, just even the examples of how there were switchblades. The Puerto Ricans had switchblades, and that there were territories. And she talked about the territory even as in the Catholic neighborhood that they had, that was going on, and how Bernstein and the author of West Side Story put those all in that wonderful story.
Okay, you can work that out, right? Boys Need to Act More Tough and Jet song. Okay, here's all over. Bernardo sent me a text. There's a reading they're reading right now.
I love it.
Okay, and he blacked out this one part for me to read, and he said it so reminds of the hate of the cultural things. And he said, and he's going to talk a little bit more because I think he needs to bring that up, that we're as a cast not getting it, because he said the hate is so bad that you don't even want to be around that person. And some of the girls are pushing the Puerto Ricans, and you wouldn't want to touch them.
Unfortunately, with the show, like West Side Story, we live in a community that doesn't necessarily have people that can represent who we're trying to portray. So we've gotten a little bit of backlash of darkening our skin, which you can see, and some of us have darkened our hair in order to be able to portray that role. Some people see that as racism, or that we're trying to be something that we're not, but truly as actors, that's what we try to do, is we try to become something bigger than ourselves, and by doing this, we're truly giving the story its justice, and that's why we're doing it.
We've been receiving a lot of backlash on social media about how some of us had to darken our skin and darken our hair, but I think that those people don't realize that the show and the message that it provides is so much more important than a few of us having to darken our skin and hair in order to play something bigger than ourselves.
So I think what we can learn from West Side Story today in our times is that there is always somebody else's story. There's always another side. We all have families, we all have feelings, and when we start to take those into account, we can see where each person is coming from. So Anita is so very angry that they killed Bernardo, and the hate is there, but then she sees how much Maria loves Tony, and she realizes that he has become a part of her family, and that she wants to help the Sharks, because just like losing Tony would mean the same thing to them that losing Bernardo meant to her.
Okay, so when you're thinking about your character, and even like it's got to be in, what's some adjectives we can use for, like, if you saw somebody you hated so bad, what would be adjectives that you would say? Right.
Visceral disgust.
Yeah, I think that's just you.
No, seriously. Hang on. What do you feel, and I'm just throwing this stuff out here to kind of get you to feel, because you guys are so stinking innocent, and we're so kept in Iowa.
But I still feel like it is so prevalent today of what kids are seeing, the bullying, the territories, not seeing that love does conquer all, that if we had more love, that we wouldn't have that such hate and division in our world. And I thought that was a very important theme.
These ones we'll have a white scrim on the batten that is just upstage of it, and these will provide a backwash, and it'll add the effects to the scrim. And then we'll have 4 more of these along the back to add the color along the cyclorama in the back color. Change the color a couple times. One of them is not changing colors for some reason. cycle through a bunch of colors. So do we know why they're not communicating?
It's a good question. They were up. They're 400 through 414.
Oh, I forgot that we're 400.
Yep. They're currently up, so with the moving light controls, then you should be able to change colors and stuff. Do you have anything?
Nope. Okay. So could it be that they're still in the second world?
No. But what we can do is grab an XLR cable, check the XLR cable, and then plug the 5-pin to 3-pin adapter and the XLR cable together, and then put them in the tester. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll have to see what the cable is, and then it'll make more sense.
Yes.
Reopen this and solder it?
You've got 2 wires that are crossed.
So how do the pins get soldered?
How do the pins get soldered?
Yeah.
So which 2 end? Go! They have number coming right here in just a second. Let's walk this way. So on this you'll see a 1, 2, and a 3.
Yeah.
So you can match up. Black is in 2. Your ground is in 1. No. Doing nothing. And your red is in 3. For some reason, I don't think that's right. Because your ground should not be.
But as long as it matches up on this side.
You're right, it should still work.
To get it hooked up, explain the lights to me. So, the pin 1 goes to pin 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, and there's no more pins after that. And if they're crisscrossed, like if the green light and this yellow light were on, then it would say pin 1 is going to pin 2, and it's not supposed to be. So it should be lined vertically. So now they're correct.
Quick question. So, while they're like transitioning, there's a few slow bumps. Do I come in when they are actually like sped up to the correct speed?
You know what? Let's just. He's got to come in faster. That's his problem. Keep the cut. Keep the cut. I'll whistle and we'll go right into jump. Okay? Okay. Here we go. Ready? Coming in. Ready? Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. And dun 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 dun. Go go go.
I go home and stay away from my sister. Sister? Could you please one of them?
No, I saw them.
Tick 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 tick.
One thing you want from Puerto Rico.
Get the way. That'll work. Do it again.
Okay.
Push. Give me pressure.
Thank you, Cassie. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we are going to now do the green keys down here. Go, sing.
Here we go.
I want to get you. Yes, cool. I want to box. Come on. In your pocket, keep cool, boy. Don't get lost, 'cause then you got some.
We are building a set for West Side Story, or we have finished building the set for West Side Story at this point. But one of the things that we took into account was what the story was about, and we kind of decided together that it was not only about the conflict and the love that eventually resolves the conflict, but it was about having moved into a place and claimed it as your home, and having somebody else move in and feel like it's being taken away from you. And so we really wanted this street to be very prominent throughout the whole show. So we didn't want it to go away. And then as we move through scenes, it does kind of fade out, hence the white scrim that we use later on in the set. But we decided that because it is an apartment in right about the time that the Lincoln Square was demolished in New York City, that we did research on pictures of that, and we looked up the New York Times photos of different gangs and the types of neighborhoods that they lived in. And so we settled on the red mortar brick buildings. And we didn't make them look as run down because in that time period, the mortar wouldn't have faded as badly yet as it does now, hence why we see a lot of white and tan. It's more from the fade of the sun. One thing we wanted to do was we wanted the students to be able to use the entire space, and we didn't want the show to consist entirely of moving wagons. We really wanted the set to be very prominent. So one of the things that our designer, Pitt Strohm, did was he built it so it could fold out like the old doll houses that we played with when we were kids. Everything nests. This shelf to be able to have some 3D with the tight space that we had, so they would have room to dance. This shelf was built to nest within the hole that is created by these two flats, and then this flat also opens up. And it has a jukebox that is very elemental to the show because they play music out of it during the taunting scene, and it actually nests within the framework of this door, which is a very nice touch. Okay, so one of the things about the theater is we like to build flats that are reusable, especially in the high school because it helps keep costs down. And so we have went to what's called a standard flat over a Hollywood flat, and so they are a quarter, they're almost an inch wide by the time we're done. And then we use leg braces to brace them up. The only problem with a set like this is that it gives you no structure for when you need a balcony that people act and dance on. And so we go behind the scenes in this theater because we cannot screw into the floors to secure things. And we build these massive stud wall structures from behind. And so the audience never really sees this side, and then we give them escape stairs to go up and down.
Oh, you guys, I'm so proud of you. Look at this. Can I go up on the balcony?
Yeah. It's stable.
It's stable.
There's a balcony.
Holy crap. I think I'm going to have, oh, this was fun, but it's not. I do not like heights. Woo!
Now firm up this part here. It'll fall wherever it's going to fall. I'm hoping that it's going to fall right there, like right here, and not get to this. Yeah.
Along with the time period issue, we wanted to make sure that we were staying true to what they would have had in the dress shop. So we were very, people loaned us things from their grandmothers that they had in the house. I believe this is Mrs. Clutter's mother's bridesmaid dress. And so one of the shops uptown was very gracious, and she lent us her mother's sewing machine that was purchased in 1960 for her own personal use, and then she's passed it down through the family. So just trying to make sure we get bobbins and thread and pieces of material out, enough to give the audience some depth of the story and give the actors properties to manipulate with to help them tell the story that they're telling about their character.
There is a lot of good things happening. Tempos are going to be different because we can't take them too fast. Things are going to sound different than what you're used to. You just got to keep plugging away. Does that make sense, Cass? Now here's the thing I was talking to Doug about. Allie does a really nice job, and so does Lauren, about emphasizing certain words. They had such stage presence. The presence has got to be rolled over and big on that. Starting on Tuesday, we go, 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 go. It's gonna be hard, and it's gonna be long.
Oh, she's just getting all dolled up with us. Gracias, querida.
The lady there was actually kind of rude.
I like it. I like it.
And Act 2, I'll go over and hopefully she'll give us some information. Act.
So there's a bulb out in one of these lights.
I like the curls.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks good.
Bring what's and then brush them out.
Yeah.
I will be upstairs. Call me if you need me. I will have my headset on as soon as I get sat down. Okay? Okay. Bye now. And then, I don't know where Michaela is right now. She should be by that headset.
I said the last time I saw her, it was during makeup, like 15 minutes
She
ago.
said she had to go home for something really quick.
I saw her, she just walked in.
She when she gets back, just have her around the headset. Try to get her to like kind of take notes. Yeah.
Sounds
I'll
good.
be upstairs.
Okay, bye now.
I am the stage manager. I'm gonna be calling the show as much as I can and trying to get all of the tech pieces to come together so we can have a real rehearsal. You need to go downstairs as soon as possible.
I did my
Yeah, I know. I figured.
What do I do downstairs exactly, besides sit on headset?
Take notes on anything that goes wrong. You should be helping with shift a little bit. So like, start making yourself part of their shift changes, because Sam doesn't have that many people. He has himself, Keith, James, Codey, and you. So 6 people total to do all of the scene changes.
I got my hair dyed this morning, like my highlights
Really?
done. So I was already in one of these this morning. Now I'm grease this hair control.
What?
You're all too fluffy.
What do I do?
Basically put it on your hands and you slick it through your hair. Yep, I'm getting there.
You put it in your hand and you slick it through your
I
hair.
knew what you were asking.
Do you do this a lot? Oh wait.
I am everywhere.
He knows more than us.
Can I do an interview?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I might as well do one right now because my violin broke, guys. So that's
Oh.
unfortunate.
Violin string broke and you got a new string?
Yeah.
Do you know how to restring it?
No, and the funny part is I got this yesterday.
I actually know how to restring it if you need me to.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Can you please?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
For those of you that don't know, I am the producer of the documentary. I'm
a
also
violin player.
a cellist with moderate proficiency on the violin, So we're doing a emergency violin string change. There you go.
Why do you have that t-shirt on?
Because
You need to get rid of all your phones and have cell phones. Get rid of that. Nope, put it somewhere in my office somewhere. Nope. 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 You freshman boy, figure it out. They didn't have Nike. Go.
I gotta figure out where I'm gonna place fog machines and how I'm going to maybe if I put a platform up high and I pumped it out the windows, it would fall down and through. Last year for Beauty and the Beast, we tried to go 1.5 feet up in the air and we couldn't get it to drop the way we wanted.
Rivers. Old man Rivers.
What a bunch of old man Rivers.
Slow down.
They don't know nothing and they don't say nothing.
They don't know nothing and they don't say nothing. That's yeah. You can't go. They don't know nothing, they don't say nothing. They don't know nothing and they don't say nothing. Okay, go.
They don't know nothing and they don't say
nothing. Yeah, drag your words out a little bit. That's a lot better.
I'm going upstairs. Go through the script and make sure you don't have any other major things like bridal shop, bedroom, blah, 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 blah. I haven't been up there tonight, so they need some more direction. Normally they're okay on a night like tonight, but it's just time to check it out here.
It needs to be here. Go out at scene 1 because it doesn't make sense to do it like
Those are my notes so far too.
But then they leave and Shrek just gives like this big speech. So I made it right after Shrek left, and the boys were like, "Oh," and they were like mocking him and stuff, and they start moving around more. Because
so what's Shrank's last words?
Goodbye, boys, and then they make fun of them and they say goodbye, boys, and then they move from their little group.
As they're saying goodbye, boys, as they make fun of him through here.
That's where I did
slowly
it.
lift it.
Yeah, because
Yep,
then they
that's
start moving like they're walking around. So I was like, oh, well, if they're leaving the street, then they can go.
Yep.
Okay.
That's great.
That's good.
That's
okay.
actually
One
good.
down.
3 minutes, guys.
Yeah.
Showing 3.
Okay, I need to know who all I have on headset downstairs, please.
You have stage right.
Okay, do I have stage left? Anybody on stage left?
Yes.
Thank you.
Very well.
Let's do this. Main, go, please. I don't. For now, just go. And lights, go.
Hey, Gabe. I have voices in the backstage monitors, but no orchestra.
Really? Okay.
I'm just letting you know. It can be fixed tomorrow. I am just letting you know.
Alright.
Alright.
We'll try that.
What kind of place is this?
This is the street at night. Like the
Okay.
street below the balcony.
So we're gonna want more cools. Bring those down.
What about the center? Assuming it's supposed to be night.
That works a bit better.
Alright, lights and scrim going out, please stand by.
Spin her a little bit, you know how it goes.
Are you ready for the curtain now?
And sound, stand by.
No, hold! Stop! Hold!
start that earlier, I guess. I don't freaking know. I don't know why that sound cue is cut like that. And main and lights stand by. Lights go, main go.
Okay, Act 2, get ready.
26. Okay.
I'll just give you a couple pieces of spike tape, and when I say
It's so that we know where we're going, so we're not just guessing every single time.
Because we're bad people, and this is our truth and self, slash dungeon. Because you don't want all of that.
Blood all over my hands.
Here, where'd you get punched? Where'd you get hit?
Here and here.
Oh, sorry.
Just like last time.
This? Where do you hit?
Nose, side of the mouth, my neck.
Alrighty.
Where's the here?
Don't touch the children. You're just gonna get. Don't touch the children.
Literally, if I even got like near you, Riley, in what situation would a shark ever win against an actual?
Got him.
Like shark broccoli. Hey.
Put that in.
A self-care.
My job as the props master is to make sure each of the actors have their prop when, where, or how they need it. I organize it by act and scene on these cookie trays right here. That's the thing though, I left some space for you in case I forgot something, and I need, well, if I did, I want you to write it down,
okay.
Act and scene, and stage left or stage right for prep, okay?
Okay.
Alright, thank you, Ben.
Thanks.
Yeah. This ladder right here is for John Lampy and Ellie Mogliines. I believe they both use it in Act 1 and Act 2. This knife is for the rumble scene, Act 1, Scene 9, where Doug and Nick Crane are supposed to die at the end.
So I tried to give Justin a mic at the beginning of the night, and he said that Gage sung more and was kind of more important. But I'm gonna try switching them out tomorrow just to see who can be louder without it.
Okay.
Because they both have the same number of lines. It shouldn't be a huge issue. I just wanted you to know.
Okay. Let them know that that's what I said to do.
Yeah, it'll be fine. They were both okay with it, so.
Hello? Hello. How's it going? Pretty bad. Are we anywhere near ready? Do we have the bedroom scene on?
Do we have anything for the bedroom scene yet?
I don't know.
So do we have anything like that?
I'm looking for a bed frame, metal, and it should be somewhere in this.
Maybe somebody tell Mrs. Clutter that we can't start Act 2 now. Okay, got it. Because she's starting and we don't have anybody mic'd that needs to be mic'd. So, alright, I got you, girl.
Wait, I'm not on 84. Alright, so you said first cue is 84?
Yeah, and there's 0 face light.
Is that the first cue of the scene?
Yes, because that's the cue I have in my notes.
Yeah.
It's just the
Yeah, 84.
cityscape foliage and a blue top light.
Top of scene 9. Top of scene 9. Alright.
As far as I know, because it used to be 80.
Terrell and Jillian are supposed to have mics, right?
Yes.
Whose mics do they get?
They get other people's mic packs. They should have their own mics.
They have neither.
Okay, who all do I have? Are all my correct people in the correct places?
Terrell does not have a microphone tonight because we couldn't figure out who's to use, and John does not have a microphone because he's just right now on Jillian.
Yes, we're supposed to switch it after she comes off.
He walks on stage as she walks off.
There's no way. I just looked at my script. There is no reason for them to be on stage.
With the way Jillian's dress works, it's not happening.
Okay. I will fix it. Lights stand by. And sound for whoever comes on. Okay. It's over now anyway.
Okay.
I still don't know how the scene change works.
I don't know either. It's the first time we've run anything.
Boys off! Shut the boys off! And I need to make sure tomorrow that all of these girls are mic'd! I feel pretty.
Okay, I want this. Okay, wait. I know. Okay, I give up on that.
The lights are set up for a pretty dream sequence scene, and I can't hit anybody's behind the script.
Don't worry about it. I just want to hear the voices. Doesn't matter.
Can I put Ruth and Woody over here instead of up on the balcony?
Hey, Sarge, where's the black
Why?
Okay, so can you put Pitt on for 5 seconds?
Yeah.
What's up?
Okay, so she will not budge on Ruthie Dewey being where she's at. She's like, I don't care if she's lit. Just if there's just an essence of a shadow of her up there, she is not the focus. The kids are the focus. Those are her words. And she doesn't care if the girls are sitting behind, and she's like, I did it now twice, and I hate it, so we're going to change it. I was like,
Great.
Okay, great.
So if Ruthie Dewey is not seen, we're okay with that.
She's okay with that.
Great. Hey, Sam? Yes. Can you bring in... I realize this is going to go back out here very quickly. Can you just bring in the third teaser just for the fun of it? Okay. Yeah, that's the stuff.
Lights stand by. Oi! We need to be quieter on that.
What's gone into you? What? Why do you live like there's a war on? Yes, we can.
How do you fire this gun, Chino? Just by pulling the little trigger? How many bullets are left, Chino? Enough for you? You, all of you, we all killed him! And my brother and Riff. I too. I can kill now because I hate now!
And we're done now. Thank you. Pick up your stuff. Go home. I mean, don't go home yet, but...
I feel like everything's
Better than I
hectic.
thought, but definitely not good.
I was kind of nervous. So.
I've been hit by a train.
A little tired?
Yeah.
I am exhausted. I've been up since 7. I came in Sunday. I stayed till 8 o'clock Sunday night, or Saturday night, so going over things with Pitt. So you have to remember, we usually end up here 2 hours before you guys and stay way longer. It is very difficult to take every single area and have to know every single thing that every single one of you are doing and where you're supposed to be and when you're supposed to be there, along with all the actors and the orchestra, and try to communicate with everybody and get that across over a headset. I don't know actually how many cues she called tonight, but I know she called enough things tonight that it was fairly smooth back here. So, I mean, good job. Good job. You put a lot of work into this, so good job.
Good job, Rachel.
Okay. So, good jobs. Kudos there. Thank you. We figured out tonight where we have large, area gaps and where we need stuff fixed. So, I know you took notes on that center wall, so good job there.
Okay, so what we're really going to work on over the next couple days is our sound issues. We have found that because wireless microphones are limited, we don't have enough for every single actor, and we thought we had a good layout for swapping back and forth. And I found tonight that did not work as well as I would like it to. So we're gonna work on reading through the script and finding out who doesn't overlap as much and working on that. We are going to continue to work on shift changes. I think the biggest thing we need to do is get the rest of our pieces in place. I think my biggest thing tech-wise is we stop a lot of times for music or lines or blocking, but getting that same courtesy when we need to run something again for tech. Because once we get the timing down, we remember it and it goes really smoothly, but sometimes just with stopping in between songs, that's right where our change is. So we'll work on that over the next 3 days.
Okay, so we are not going to take this all the way out if possible, but if we have to, we will.
I found center mark.
So let's tie each side of this. Let's snug this up right on the center so we don't end up pulling in one direction or the other.
There's so much food. Oh yeah, that is darker. What do you think?
It's different. It's not that much different, but it's still weird.
But you know what? Look how tan you look though with it. Hey you guys, is there something else we need to go over, Jess? What? You guys need to start warming up and working. Orchestra will be in.
Can't move. I could. About the only thing I see that
Can you swap the bridge and the white psych and just use the black teaser and the bridge?
they need.
But then you need to swap the
They need
lights.
the maximum amount, and I'd have to have the lights up further.
In our space, when they were building it, they needed to save some money, so they decided they'd cut so much of the height off of our roof line. Well, when they did that, they didn't take into account like needing to change the height of the curtains and needing to change the height of the arbors and different things like that. That happens to be one of the tall arbors, and therefore we can't fly out the bottom edges of the white tooth scrim psych, and that then is blocking light from hitting the balcony and things like that. So it is a major issue that we're trying to figure out how to solve. Could we hang a batten off of the I-beam and I had nothing.
I know.
I can't get a lift that quick that actually reaches the ceiling.
Lit really nice. They just put up our scrim an hour ago, that brand new one, and so they're filtering new lights on that. Okay, you know what? I want to do America. Can we sing America really quick? Yeah. And we need to work. Did you try that?
We build 4 legs. We cut our balcony down to 6 foot, and we just have posts behind.
All right.
That's actually quicker than changing everything over.
Well, I think what we may end up looking at doing is we'll just tie it with the lights, and
hope.
I mean, it won't have nearly the same look. We can talk to Melody. It's going to make it 6 inches shorter.
No. She doesn't need to know. It's that far. But she, in her mind, this will become this.
Is everybody ready? I think so. And house out. And warmers out. And main. Go. Alright, lights and scrim going out, please stand by. Lights and scrim Go.
I want the just to be number one. To set the whole the sky. Rehearsal. Boom, boom. Chomp, chomp.
Scrimmage 13, sir.
I love you. Oh, come in, Nardo.
Are you ready?
And spots, please be ready to pick up Tony and Maria as they come toward the center at about 60% at the end of this song. Max, you're really wobbly.
Yeah, I know. How should I stop that?
Just stop moving. Brandy, can you help Max, please? He's very wobbly and he doesn't know how to stop.
Go.
Stand by for the 9 chimes. And chimes. Go.
It's been really good. I'm happy with it. The fight scene was a little bit improvised, but we got it figured out and it looked natural, so we're going good.
Is it hot down here? It is hot on stage. I was about to pass out.
Is Melody in the pit? I guess I should have checked that, but...
Yeah, I'm Harry Potter, but the scar's on my nose.
She is in the pit. Thank you. Alright, we're going now.
I'm pretty and witty and bright, and I pity any girl who isn't free tonight.
And Scrimmage 13s are out.
I find it funny how the dry ice made the floor wet and they're all slipping on it.
Yeah, it's terrible, especially with plastic Converse.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
That was an interesting scene change, but it wasn't bad at all.
Go on.
The audience just shuddered.
They're very unresponsive.
You know, they're quiet because they're upset.
Okay, here we go. This is Eric. You know Eric, he cast. And then this is his friend Adam, who I told him you're a professional actor and you're a professor, and the list goes on and on. And this is Caroline. You remember Caroline from? We've been with you 5 years. Some of these guys have been 4 years in, so. Okay.
What we hope to provide tonight is just some notes that we observed. We don't want to undermine anything that Mrs. Clutter has given you as far as direction and feedback. So whatever she has ever told you is really the default.
Yeah, so Riff, tell me about your relationship with the boys and then with Shrink.
Shrink, it's almost like a mocking relationship.
Okay, good.
Like, we don't like him, we don't respect him, we don't want him around, we don't think he's doing anything good. And then with the boys, it's like, it's not necessarily paternal, but it's definitely a leading role in their lives.
Great. I like all of those things. I think with Shrink, we can see more of you manipulating him.
Okay.
You're like, ha ha ha. You're in his face, right? You're a little bit, you try to one up with him. You play his game, right? And then with everyone else, you're the leader, but you also are, I think you have a whole song about keeping cool, right? So he has to be so cool and so at ease at all times until the rumble, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Tony.
So at any
Something's coming. The who knows. Who are you singing to there?
Just kind of the unknown, I kind of thought. Like, I haven't met Maria yet, so I'm just kind of like hoping maybe I can meet someone at this point.
So there would be a hope there, right? You, like you said, you haven't met Maria yet, but you're hoping that something's coming. So something that might help us give you a little bit more focus on stage, because you're singing it, but we're not seeing you discover what you want. So can you? I know we haven't met Maria yet, but it might be easy to think about what the idea of Maria is and sing to that idea. So you really give focus to like that something's coming. I can see it. I'm not sure what it is yet, but I can see it.
I wish the audience got to see how much individual work we put in. We do come to practice for multiple hours a night, and that's when we really put it together, but there's a lot of individual work that has to go in, both with the lines, finding the character, learning notes to the songs, and I think all those little individual pieces, it is what makes it a complete show. So I think they'd like to see the hard work that our students really do and the time they really put in.
The process that I wish the audience gets to more see of is definitely the backstage, because there are so many things that go on backstage.
I think people, as the audience come in, they partake of that huge big picture, but they don't see the hours.
When it gets closer to showtime, my nerves definitely get a bit jittery. But I just try to funnel that into excitement and then focus towards what I need to work on.
Thank you. Enjoy the show.
Perfect. What's going on? Not much. It's been a break. Oh my
Put that away.
Carrie's gonna take us down. I won't even really direct that. We'll let her take that down. If you guys want to take like a 15-minute break and go upstairs and get
Tonight, Whitesitt Fair Square tonight. The Puerto Rican uncle goes down, and when his calling uncle will never the town. So fight the counter, alright. We're gonna have a simple alright.
It seems every aspect, the kids, the community, the director,
all the crew, all the everyone, all the parents who make it possible. Everyone just comes together to make it like such a beautiful 3 days, and then at the end you're like, how did we do that? And sometimes I honestly don't know.